April 6th, 1917. The day that changed the course of history, marking the United States' entry into World War I. What had led a nation committed to neutrality into the deadliest conflict the world had ever seen? There were a few reasons for their entrance, but this turning point, this moment when the fate of nations hung in the balance, relied on a single intercepted message. By 1917, World War I had reached a stalemate on the Western Front. The trenches stretched for hundreds of miles, and both sides were suffering heavy casualties with little to show for it. Desperate to break the deadlock, Germany decided to resume submarine warfare in an attempt to constrict Britain from obtaining supplies, knowing full well their actions could provoke other countries into entering the war. The Germans had long been attempting to preoccupy the United States and delay mobilization efforts by promoting a war with Mexico after giving $12 million and the suspected organization of the explosion of 2 munitions depots. One at Mare Island Naval Shipyard in San Francisco, California, and the other at Black Tom Pier in Jersey City, New Jersey. The German High Command was convinced that the key to victory lay in crippling Britain's supply lines through an unrelenting U-boat campaign, and it was imperative to force the British into submission before the U.S. could mobilize. Instead, they devised a contingency plan, an audacious diplomatic maneuver. The plan was aimed at keeping the U.S. distracted by stirring up conflict closer to home. It would depend entirely on whether they could forge an alliance that would divert American attention and resources away from Europe, buying Germany the critical time it needed to secure victory on the Western Front. On January 16, 1917, Arthur Zimmerman, the German foreign minister, sent a coded telegram to the German ambassador in Mexico, Heinrich von Eckart. The message was simple but bold. Germany proposed a military alliance with Mexico. If the United States entered the war against Germany, Mexico would declare war on the U.S. In return, Germany promised financial support and the restoration of territories Mexico had lost to the United States. The encrypted telegram was intercepted before it could reach its intended recipient. British intelligence had been intercepting German communications for months, and they managed to decode the Zimmerman telegram. After a month, the British government presented the decoded telegram to the American ambassador in London. The message was quickly sent to Washington, and on March 1st, President Woodrow Wilson released the telegram to the American public. The public was outraged at the idea that Germany would conspire with Mexico against the United States. Newspapers across the country ran headlines screaming about the German betrayal. Anti-German sentiment, already high, reached a fever pitch. Mexico, for its part, had no interest in engaging in such a reckless venture. President Venustiano Carranza wisely decided that war with the United States was not in Mexico's best interest. For President Wilson, the Zimmerman telegram was the final straw. Combined with other factors, including Germany's resumption of unrestricted submarine warfare, it convinced him that the United States could no longer remain neutral. On April 2, 1917, Wilson went before Congress to ask for a declaration of war against Germany, famously stating that the world must be made safe for democracy. 4 days later, the U.S. formally entered World War I. In Germany, Arthur Zimmerman's decision to publicly confirm the authenticity of the telegram was nothing short of extraordinary. It was a rare moment of transparency in a world of secret diplomacy and espionage, and it left many, both in Germany and abroad, questioning the logic behind such a move. Was it a miscalculation, a desperate attempt to salvage the situation, or something else entirely?